It's another Cajun Classic Cars TV special interview. We've got a really good one for you today, especially for those that love old cars and want to be part of a collective, a membership, a camaraderie. We're going to do that today. And I met a gentleman online named Roberto, and he's here with us. And we'll start with you, Roberto. We met because I saw a post of yours about a membership of the Antique Automobile Club of America, and we'll get to Fred with the club here in a little bit. But tell us a little bit about what about your background in cars, Roberto.
Yes, certainly. Hi, everybody. It's an honor to be here with you guys, and this is an awesome show. I just started watching it not too long ago, and man, I'm devouring. I'm on episode 52, I believe, and wow! Since the first one I started, I couldn't just stop watching them. So yes, my name is Roberto Recinos. I live in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And my background goes all the way to my country of origin. I am from Guatemala in Central America. And of course, my dad always had cars and had the love for the cars in his era, which was the 50s or 40s. But my story goes back a little before that. So when I was 6 years old, I'm 64 right now. Uh, every Saturday, I saw this gentleman, and he was driving the most unusual machine I ever saw. It was a carriage type, something like this, more or less, but with a top. Actually, I had a picture somewhere, but that thing rattles, and so I start looking at that thing, and the thing that it caught my attention was that he didn't drove it with a steering wheel, but with a stick. So, every Saturday I was there. I don't know if you see
Yeah.
here, but this is a 1902 Plymouth, and I'm sorry, Oldsmobile, and wow, every Saturday between 9 to 10, I was there right on my front porch, looking at it. One day he pulled over and he said, "Hey kid, you want to take a closer look?" Man, that changed my life. That changed my life when he asked my folks if I could, ride with him. Of course, they knew each other. He lives 2 blocks away. For me, it was like I don't know where he lives, but anyways, since then I start developing a love for the automobile industry. I start getting into this and that. I did a little racing, street racing and rallies and that sort of thing, Then I became a Jeep man. So I start developing a love for Jeeps because my dad had a Jeep, and actually that is the vehicle I learned how to drive when I was around 11 years old, more or less. So I start getting into. We formed the Jeep Club of Guatemala. Then became the Jeep Club of Central America, and we claimed volcanoes. We went to all kinds of trips, uh, and that was fun. So I have some of my trophies here. Well, you see my crooked arm, and also I call them my trophies. I call them my trophies. But anyways, that's my background. I came to Louisiana in the 80s, and it's a long story, Work brought me to South America back again. But in 2006, we opened an office, consulting office here in Baton Rouge. I have a couple of siblings here. So since then, brought my family, we decided to move here. And sadly, I had to get ready of my Jeeps in Guatemala because we were moving and all of that. So for my surprise, the very first year we were here, that Christmas, my wife surprised me. And she said, "I got a gift for you." And she got me a red Jeep. Uh, wow, I treasured that Jeep. I still have it, and I will have it until, you know. Anyways, so then I brought her, I gave her, gift her a Beamer C4 in 2010. That was a 2011 Beamer. It was the first uh, hardtop convertible. I told her, we're going to keep this one because one day it's going to become a classic, and I want to on a classic car. But meanwhile, we travel. We love to travel with the kids. We have three kids, so we have visited so far 42 states, and in every trip, I find the perfect excuse to visit a museum, a car show, or anything related with all cars. So
So
on
yeah,
November,
I have to say that anytime we travel, us guys are fooling ourselves if we think our wives don't know we want to take a side trip to go see cars.
leave it like that. I'm happy, surprising them. But anyways, November 14th, I'll be followed for 9 days, 10 days, this auction on Hemmings, and it was a 1924 Nash. And well, it's not usual that you see Nash auctions on Hemmings or Bat or Haggerty's or those sites. So I every day I show my wife, look, it has this feature. It's so special. Blah blah. Anyways, November 14th, we were down in New Orleans. Now we're away from here. We're doing some shopping, and there's 1 hour left for the auction to go. So here I go with my phone. Oh man, and suddenly she asked me for something, and I was distracted. So she said, "Hey." I say, "Oh, I'm sorry. What you doing?" I say, "Oh, I'm looking, Oh, that thing." She say, "Do you really that thing? I like that thing." Before I could say, "Yes, ma'am, yes, my love." So she say, "Why don't you get it?" I said, "That's a good idea. I never thought of that. Wow." So before she changed her mind, here I go. I put on my data, and next thing I knew, I was awarded with that beautiful Nash. Now, the owner of the Nash, that's another story. I send you, well, this is the Nash, and this is a magazine, a local magazine of the Country Club of Louisiana. They did an article, and I send you the article, Brian, because I want to connect you with the person who I purchased the Nash from. He's a prominent collector in California. Actually, he's the president of one of the chapters of AACA. You know, the Antique Automobile Club of America. And I mean, he's fantastic. He was a friend of Ronald Reagan, the president. He's friends with Jay Leno. I saw your episode of Jay Leno's also. And I mean, he's a fantastic guy, and you need to be in touch with him. He's very open, and like I say, he's a very prominent collector in California. But anyways, that's how I began with my first car. I start driving every other day, every day, every 4 days. You know what I mean? Start trying to fix, but nothing is wrong with that car. It's in so pristine condition, and we'll have to make a program on that because the car is so unique. There's only two left in the war, and I traced the story till 1937. I spoke with four former owners. The other two are deceased, of course. But I mean, this is it was so unique that Dana Newquist, the person who I bought it from, he wanted it back. He said, "Oh, can I buy it back?" But I said, "No." Then I told my wife, "Look, I want another one. I want more." Of course you do, she said. So the next car we just got it a couple of weeks ago. Um, I promised her that I will not buy another one until I build me a shop or a garage or sometime where to store them. So we're in the process of looking for land and all of that close to the house, and suddenly this beautiful 1941 Ford truck came. It's in a mint condition. I mean, I couldn't let go. I just couldn't. So that's our story right now. And I refer to our because my wife is my partner, and definitely, like you say, Brian. I mean, she knows everything, and you know what? She's enjoying it. She's into it now, and she said that the truck is hers. The dash is mine. The truck is hers. Okay, whatever. I get to drive both, so I don't
Exactly. Well,
mind.
I can relate to my wife had no idea about cars and thought I was crazy. We lived in Alaska for a while. I'm a Louisiana boy. Came back home, started getting into cars again. She did not understand it. the minute we started riding some of our old cars that I bought and went to car shows, she started geeking out about it. And so it does become a nice thing for couples to do. Real quick before we get to Fred, you and I have a Nash connection because I have a
Yes,
57 Nash Metropolitan.
correct. And I got a
Yeah.
bunch of. I will not spoil it. I got something for you for related to your Metropolitan. So definitely, yes, we need to get together. We need
We
to get together.
absolutely will. Let's introduce Fred Trusty.
Please.
Fred, you're here because Roberto and I met. We were talking about gaining membership in Louisiana with the Antique Automobile Club of America. So we'll let you take it from here about what's going on right now, special.
All right. Well, AACA is probably the largest antique automobile club in the world. We've got about 41,000 members, or 26,000 memberships. Which is a couple. Basically, how many magazines we send out. And I know I hear your all stories, and I've got one of those T-shirts that says, "If something happens to me, please don't let my wife sell my cars for what I told her I paid." And the disease runs deep. I've got it really bad. I grew up in the 1960s. Well, I attempted to grow up in the 60s. I still play with cars. And seeing back then they were just cars, the Corvettes, the Mustangs, the Mopars, they were just cars. And nobody thought anything about it. And kind of like Roberto, when I was about probably 11 or 12, a buddy of mine and I was at his house on our bicycles, of course, and a Corvette pulled in. A new Corvette pulled in the driveway, and a young man got out and went up to the door. And my buddy Steve said, "That's my older sister's new boyfriend." And we're looking at the Corvette, of course. And he goes in the house, and a few minutes later, he comes back out and he says, "Well, she's not ready as usual. You boys want to go for a ride?" And so both of us crammed in the front seat of that Corvette. I think it was a 64, maybe a 65. And he backed out, and then he turned the corner and he unleashed it. And what a thrill. And that seed was planted, and it finally germinated years and years later. So I like I said, I've got it really bad. But anyway, AACA, I like to joke that it's the best kept secret on the planet. We do all sorts of promotions, and we have, I think this year we've had about 14 events across the country. I just got back from Allentown, Pennsylvania, from the NB Center for Automotive Heritage. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. It's an incredible facility. A man owns it that he collects basic American iron of the 30s, 40s, and 50s. And the things that nobody else wants, the average cars, the Nashes, the Hudsons, just the average things. And so it was a Grand National. We had 500 cars there of the best of the best. And we had to limit it to 500 because that's all the room we had. But anyway, we were always promoting membership. I'm on the board of directors of AACA. I was president in 23. So I got to run around the country and talk to a lot of people. And they said they'd double my salary if I did a good job. Problem is that there's something wrong with my calculator. It keeps coming up zero.
So
Anyway,
it's a
we're
labor
always
of love for sure.
Yeah, it's a labor of love. And right now my assignment this year is the Central Division Region Support and Development. And the Central Division is basically right down the middle of the U.S. It's basically west of the Mississippi and east of the Rockies. It includes Texas, Louisiana, Nebraska, Iowa, the Dakotas. And I just try to work with regions to develop their membership. How to go out and recruit new members. And I tell people, don't try too hard. Make friends with people. If they want to join, they probably will. But you got to give them something. Why join? Everybody's
Correct.
culture today is they want it now, and what's in it for me? And you've got to make it fun. This hobby is supposed to be fun. So it's I know it's kind of a I don't know what word I'm trying to use. It's a difficult job, but it's basically just being a salesman. Go out and talk to people, go to car shows, and the best salesmen are people that believe in their products. and I can tell Roberto believes in his product. So
Be sure.
I can add something. People don't buy the product; they buy you. They buy
yeah,
because of you. So
yeah.
you play a important role on that.
I'm not a salesman. I'm more of an engineer type, but I like the technical side. But anyway, and I tell people, there's a lot in the old car hobby. There's something for almost everyone. Some people like to show their cars. They've got this beautifully restored car, and it's got 3 miles on it because it goes from the trailer to the show field and back to the trailer. Then there's the touring side. That's what I like. I like driving my cars. In fact, have you ever heard of the Glidden Tour in
I
America?
have.
Yeah, it's the oldest. Started in 1904, 1905, and it's next month up in Dover, Delaware. And these are people that love to drive their cars. It's for pre-war cars, pre-43. And I'm not sure which car I'm taking. I'm either taking my 40 Ford or my 35 Packard, and see which one breaks down. But you meet the nicest people beside the road when you broke down. And I've met a lot of people.
Well, I always would tell people whenever, I would have somebody, a family member or friend say, aren't you worried about it breaking down? And I said the same thing. You meet a lot of great people. But I said, it's not about miles per hour. It's about smiles per hour.
Exactly.
There you
Yeah.
go.
You meet, and it's not so much about the cars. It's the people you meet along the way. I've got friends all over the country. In fact, you mentioned Dana Newquist.
Yeah, you know Dana?
Yeah, in Palm Springs, right?
Yeah. Santa Barbara.
Yeah, Santa Barbara. That's right. Yeah, I knew it was down there somewhere. But I haven't talked to him in a long time. But
I talk on a weekly basis.
He might not even remember me. It's been years since I talked to him.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a hobby. It's a camaraderie.
Yes.
99.9% of the people in the old car hobby are honest, do anything for you. Just like anything, churches, civic groups, you get that one out of a 10,000 that's difficult. And I'm being nice.
Right.
So,
right.
So that's where, like I said, AACA, we are our membership. It started going down about 2016, and just people aging out, and just that part, and young kids not interested in it much. But now we've seemed to have turned the corner, and our membership is on the rise again, because we're working with other car clubs. A lot of the car clubs are having problems because of membership declining, insurance is going up, and mailing their newsletters out is expensive. And so AACA, we now have what's called an affiliate program.
Fred, let me interrupt you there. Before you present that program, which I'm fascinated with, I really like to point the situation here in Louisiana with AACA. We have currently 5 chapters.
Right.
The Baton Rouge chapter, where I belong to. We have an Alexandria chapter, which is closer to you, Brian. And we have a Lafayette, Homa, and Lake Charles. I don't know what happened with Shreveport. I know there used to be one in Slidell and another one in New Orleans, but definitely they disappeared after Katrina. I really don't know the story. The thing is that chapter in Baton Rouge, like Fred said, well, people is aging out and getting out. So when I joined the club and attend my first meeting with my wife, there were only 2 people there. The president and the guy who runs the newsletter. And man, those guys work there, but like you have no idea. And they actually, we have the responsibility to put together the Louisiana tour this year. They rotate with all the areas, with within the chapters, the different every year or every other year, something like that. So this year was responsibility of the Baton Rouge. So we jump in with my wife and help those guys. They have almost everything ready by the time we join. But nevertheless, I develop a heart for trying to grow up and bring membership to the chapter. So that's what I'm doing right now, and that is why you saw the post you saw, Brian. Basically, headquarters in Pennsylvania have been so supportive. So they gave me this free applications for 1 year membership. So it's not that I'm giving them away because I like to speak with the candidates, because just like I said, well, they have to be the right people, just not giving away candy or something like that. No, no, no. This is a hobby, but it's a serious hobby. It's a fun hobby, but it's a demanding also responsibility, with cars and family and all of that, and also that brings a responsibility with our membership with our clubs. So I am really working uh, everything I can to bring alive this Baton Rouge chapter, and would love to open a New Orleans and help the people develop there. I know some people there, Slidell, Shreveport, and all the Louisiana area basically, and then see where this is taking us. So one thing that I found out is there's a million clubs, small clubs here, the Cajun club, the Bayou club. I mean, you name them, you name them. There's a bunch of clubs, and people, what they love to do is just get together, get their crawfish, get their food and ride and socialize and all of that. Uh, and when I approach some of them in car shows, they say, "Oh no, no, I already belong. Oh no, I'm not interested." They don't even know who's the AACA and the benefits they could bring. So um, that's when I met Fred, and he explained to me about this new program. And I read in their Antique Club of America magazine that the Pierce Arrow community or society joined
Right.
it as a society without losing any benefits. So I got so interested in that. And now, Fred, I'll let you explain all of that with detail, please.
Yeah, well, the affiliate program is a win-win for both clubs because the Pierce Arrow Society, they now, when their newsletter, it goes out in the same wrapper as the AA magazine, as the Antique Automobile magazine. So it saves them the postage. And it's just to their members, and so that saves them. And then they're also under the insurance umbrella and the director and D&O insurance. Most board of directors need to have what's called director and officer insurance. So that covers under there. So it saves them a lot of money. We gain, I forgot how many, 500-600 new members, and they stay viable. They still run their club the way they want, but they're just an affiliate. And I think you're going to see a lot more of that in the future. Because the smaller clubs, the mark clubs, are having trouble. Their membership is going down and their costs are going up. So, like I said, I think it's a great thing, and in fact, I'm positive we're going to see more of it.
Well, Fred, let's dispel some of the maybe some of the barrier to entry here. When we say antique, tell everybody the years. Therefore, people don't automatically assume it's a Model T or a Model A. Tell us a little bit about that.
Antique is 25 years or older, and you do not have to own an antique car to be in the club. There's a lot of people and some of the older people have sold all their cars, but they still go to shows and they go to tours. When they go to tours, they sign up just like everybody else, but they know people and they ride with somebody. I mean, when I was president, I didn't think I took any of my cars to any of the tours. I always rode with someone, and I've ridden in. I can't tell you how many different cars I've ridden in. Chrysler Airflows, Corvettes, Model Ts, Model As, Packards. I can't even remember them all, but it's just a lot of fun. And you're out there, when you're on a tour, you are driving advertisement because you stop in a gas station and you'll generally have a crowd around your car.
Mhm.
Or when you're going down the road, people go by and, give you the thumbs up as they go by. And it's like I said, 25 years or older, and it's mainly, we're basically a historical society, AACA. It's the evolution of transportation in America. 500 years from now, they'll look back when they're being transported around on their magic little disc or whatever. They'll look back and say, "Can you believe people actually rode in these things, these contraptions?" And but look at the change in transportation from 1900 to now. Look at a car, a curved dash Oldsmobile with a tiller steering wheel, and now we've got heated seats, heated mirrors, heated everything. Some of them self-drive, avoidance of radar. It's the evolution of transportation is basically what it amounts to.
I saw
I
an
will put
interview
it.
with Jay. Well, as a matter of fact, I think when I interviewed Jay Leno, I asked him about his favorite car, and he said, "Well, he said that's kind of two answers." He said, "My favorite car to drive is one of my new electric cars because it's not going to leave me on the side of the road." But he said, "My favorite car to enjoy is any car I get up in the morning and I look and I say I want to enjoy." So, you know, us guys in the car world, we understand the quirks and the specialties and the uniqueness of the cars. But boy,
Right.
when you bring a smile to other people's face, or yeah, recently I was at a car show in Baton Rouge, and a friend of mine named Barney Huggins, who's a classic car guy who I love dearly. Um, I mentioned some weird little piece that I needed temporarily for my 65 Thunderbird, so I could avoid a transmission leak until I got the actual part in. It was a transmission plate cover, and he went to his garage, came out with a piece of sheet metal, which was the exact size that would work for that car and temporarily, and I put it on. And it's just that's how us car guys are.
Mhm.
You learn about it, you learn about the hobby, you learn what's going on, and we learn a lot of things personally about folks' lives, their births, and unfortunately deaths, and things like that. Who's graduating? It is a camaraderie unlike anything that you'll see out there.
Yeah.
I,
It's
I would put
some
it this
people.
way. I would put it this way. If you're a car lover, a car enthusiast, this is the club for you. We accept all the categories, every category, you know. So there's no limitation to it, and the community is so nice, so special, and just like you say, Brian. I mean, whatever you need, people will pitch in to help you out.
It's
It's just
not it's not a competition either. I mean, a lot of AACA members have street rods. I've got one slightly modified 76 Ford truck. It's not a competition. It's whatever you like. You
Mhm.
like Coke, I like Pepsi. You like Miller Lite, I like Bud Light. It's whatever you like. There's something for everybody, and it's not a competition. It's the camaraderie and the history of the car, the evolution of the automobile.
Well,
It's
let's
a
get
great.
folks involved here while we wrap up. How can they take advantage there's a current special right now, which is going to end in just a couple of days. By the time we post this, there'll be 3 days left to that. Tell us about that, and then tell us about other information, how they can get in touch with you
Well,
guys.
you can join AACA like through Roberto's region. You can join, and those applications end in a few days, but new ones are being sent out for the rest of the year. You can join AACA for the rest of the year for half price, less than half price. So you've got to have we don't just want to hand these out like candy. It's just people get them and throw them away or. But we want people that want to be engaged and involved in the hobby. So it's no problem. It's the free membership program. It's your first year or your first 6 months free. And hopefully if you like it, you will pay your dues for next year. And the
Yeah,
dues.
so you're if you live in Louisiana, basically, and you can post the ad. This is the ad that I posted. But
Yeah.
basically, if you live in the Baton Rouge region, you can call me and I work with you. But if you live somewhere else, it doesn't matter. Call me and I will help you because I know. By now, I know all the presidents of the different regions and Brian, you don't belong to the AC. I'm going to send you one of these, and you bring it. I will along with it. I will forward. You probably know the president of the AACA in Alexandria, but I will make sure that he calls you or you call him. Just bring that to him, and you be a part of the club, and you will experience on firsthand what it feels like it, what all the benefits and all that, and you will be our best promoter. I'm sure of that.
You can always go to the website also,
Uh-huh.
aaca.org.
There you go.
Tells all about it. You can click on the different tabs. You can join there and pay there if you want to pay, become a member.
Hmm.
We try to make it easy for people. Like I said, people want it easy. They want it now. And what's in it for me?
Yeah, and
So,
something very important. If you're a
oh,
veteran,
military sponsorship.
yes,
Yeah.
Yes,
You can
please.
if you're a military veteran, you can join for free for the first year. And then, like I said, we have the other free applications through the regions. Every region gets 4 free a year, and you can get as many as you want. I mean, I know our local region, we've just had a banner year the last 2 years. We've signed up about 80 people a year, and I don't know. We don't know what's happened. All of a sudden, people are wanting to join. We went from about 150 families to over 300 in 2 years. Now, retention rate is another thing. You know, a lot of people will join, you know, just because they can. And retention rates, I don't know. I haven't calculated yet. I'm guessing it's 40%, 50%. We'll know, you know, we'll know more next year. But you know, it's there's something to offer for everyone. If you like cars or traveling, whatever.
Sounds great, gentlemen. Thank you so much for talking to us about the Antique Automobile Club of America. Roberto, it has been a pleasure meeting you. We will definitely get together on your
Please.
vehicles. Fred, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to talk to us. We're going to post this, and we hope we can help promote membership for you guys.
All right. Thank
And
you.
Brian, I want to thank you for what you do. You're amazing because I know you have a job and then on the side you do all of these. Wow. My admiration, my heart, and my gratitude. Thank you for what you do, Brian.
Yes.
God
Thank
bless
you.
you guys. God bless you.